are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What is your name, please?
What's my name? Georgia.
It's nice to meet you, Georgia. I'm Richard.
Nice to meet you. You're from Brazil, is that right?
Yes, I am. That's right. That's completely right. I'm from Brazil. What about you?
I'm from England, but I live in Vietnam.
That's good. That's awesome. Lots of people live in Vietnam. That's
Yeah,
great.
lots,
Especially,
lots of people.
yeah, especially, native speakers from English-speaking countries, they move to Vietnam a lot.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. It's such a good country to live in, though, especially during Corona. They've handled Corona really, really well, so it's probably one of the safest countries to be in, really.
Oh, I see. That's awesome. And how long have you been living there for?
What month is it? August, so 8 months now.
8 months. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's great. I've been here on Cambly for 2 years,
Oh,
and yes, I've talked to many teachers here from other countries who moved to
okay.
Vietnam. That's why I told you that.
Ah, okay, that's really interesting to know.
Yeah.
And why do you use Cambly?
I use Cambly to use my English every day, and I love having conversations in English, and I don't want to lose any words, because I don't like forgetting words, and we tend to forget words easily when we don't use them. So
Yeah.
Cambly is a great resource to keep practicing, keep using my English, and I love it. I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I like that. And have you ever been to any English-speaking countries?
No, I haven't recently, but it's my dream, to go to the United States, to England, to be able to use my English, in
Okay.
person with people. Actually, I went to a wedding the other day, and there were three native speakers there. I had a pleasant conversation with them, so I could tell that Cambly has been helping me so much to build up my
Oh,
confidence and to talk to people, because that's what Cambly is all about, right? We have
yeah,
to
no,
use
definitely.
our English in person. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, definitely.
Do you speak Vietnamese?
Do I speak? I speak a little bit, but not a lot. I know a few phrases, but I couldn't have a conversation with someone though. It's a very hard language to pick up because it's
Yeah,
a
it's
single
a tonal
syllable.
language, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it's a dialect language, so one word can mean like four different things depending on how you use the dialect of it. So it just gets very, very confusing. So I know simple things, so I can order in a restaurant and things like that. But yeah, I can't really do much else.
I see. That's
What
cool.
I was just going to say, have you ever left Brazil, or have you only ever travelled around Brazil?
No, I haven't been outside of Brazil. I've just traveled inside my country. So, yeah, learning languages, especially because I've also been studying Spanish, it will allow me to travel to a lot of places, and
Yeah,
it's
no,
great. It's really awesome. So, unfortunately, a lot of countries closed the borders. So, currently, I can't travel.
yeah,
But yeah, one day, God willing, I'll be able to travel, especially because I've been saving money to be able to do that, and
okay.
that's cool. And imagine that using English, we can go to a lot of places. It motivates me so much.
Oh, okay, that's really good to know. Yeah, unfortunately, we're all in the same situation that we can't leave. I wanted to go to a lot more countries this year, but unfortunately, because of Corona, so many borders are closed. So it's just difficult to get anywhere. And there's no point in traveling anyway, because nowhere's going to be what it's meant to be like, because things are all closed. The locals are a bit to people that don't live there and everything like that. So it's it, it's all very hard at the moment. But in 2 years' time, they think that everywhere should get back to normal, hopefully.
1 minute, please. Okay. So yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you. Especially I was, watching the news the other day, and I saw, the streets of New York.
Oh
All
yeah.
the stores were closed down. So I was so, oh my gosh, yeah, it's not a good time to go there because I'd like to see how Times Square, New York is, right?
Exactly.
And
You can see the country for what it is instead of what it is during Corona when everything's closed down.
exactly. So if we go there, I think we won't enjoy the place because it's not as it's supposed to be, right?
Exactly. It's definitely not how it's supposed to be. Even England at the moment isn't how it's supposed to be. So there's
Yeah,
just no point really in
yeah,
risking it
exactly,
at all.
exactly.
You might
So
as
yeah,
well put more money and then go when everywhere's open, and then um you'll have like a longer period of like you can go traveling for longer because you'll have more money. So then you'll be able to appreciate everything better as well.
yes, exactly. What do you like to do in your free time in
What do
Vietnam?
I like to do?
Yeah.
So at the moment we're actually in lockdown. So it's hard at the moment to do anything because we're just in lockdown. We're not allowed to go out. We're allowed to go on walks. We tend to go on walks every day. We have we're in this massive villa complex. We have a pool and stuff, so we just sunbathe because the weather's really nice in the mornings. And then I teach online, so I do Cambly and I do tutor ABC as well.
I see.
I do quite a lot of teaching.
I see. That's great. After I had woken up, I tried to read something in English, for example, pieces of news, and I tried to read an English book on grammar. Because I think learning new grammar rules, it's really great to increase our vocabulary,
Yeah.
improve our language skills. So after doing that, I try to enjoy the language by watching TV shows, watching movies, but everything in English. So I don't like watching anything in my native language anymore, Portuguese.
Oh, fantastic. So
When the movies are dubbed, I don't like the sound of it. It doesn't look natural. I feel like, oh,
yeah,
their mouth don't move, in the
yeah,
same
no, I
pace,
get what you mean.
at the same pace. So I feel like, oh no, I need to change it to English.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I struggle watching foreign films. I always have subtitles on the bottom, even with English films and everything. I'll always have the subtitles on at the bottom in English.
Yeah, me too. I prefer having the subtitles on because I can see how the words are written, and
Yeah,
English especially has a lot of words with, in my opinion, weird, spelling. So,
yeah,
so
no, I get what
that's
you
why
mean.
I need to see them in order to know how to write them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely understand. It's easier because some people can really talk, like speak English, but then I noticed that then they can have like a really good conversation, but then when it comes to reading, even though they've just been saying those words in the conversation, they can't actually read what's on the screen, even though they can say those words, but they're just not used to seeing them written down.
Yeah, I think I'm bad at writing. I need to practice it more. And
Right.
so yeah, I think I'm going to start writing more essays. After reading a piece of news, to try to write something related
Yeah.
to it. It will certainly help my writing skills, I think. But what is hard, I think, in English, for example, those words when they are spelling, they are similar. For example, though, through, throughout, a lot of
Yeah.
us that thought.
Sometimes there's an R, sometimes there's no R. It's also the silent K, so like no and new and stuff. So there's KNOW and NO, and they're NOW, and they both sound the same. and then there's new, so K-N-E-W and N-E-W. There's just the silent K on them. So it is quite hard. And also you've got a lot of silent E's at the end of words and everything like that. So it can get really complicated.
Yeah, it can be tricky. I'd like to ask you something. For example, it's like a game. It's not a game. It's only a question. For example, if yes is pronounced yes.
Yeah.
How is pronounced EYES?
EYES.
But without writing it.
Without writing it.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know what it was. Okay.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, it gets complicated sometimes.
Yeah. The English language is very hard to learn, and it's also very hard to teach because for me, it just comes so naturally. I talk to everyone in English, so it just comes naturally. So when I had to do my TEFL qualification, I was learning lots of new stuff. Like in English, we don't really learn the different verbs. We only learn like 3 different types of verbs, but really there's about 11 different types of verbs. And it all gets very complicated. And when we learn tenses, we only have past, present, and future. Whereas when you learn it as a foreign language, you have to have your perfect simple and your past simple and everything. And I think progressive is one of them as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely not an easy language to learn.
Especially when it comes to teach, as you guys are native speakers. I think it's good when you talk to people because you can see whether the words sound naturally or not, right? So you can say, oh, it's not natural. You can say this instead. So it's awesome.
Yeah. It's really interesting though, when I'm teaching and I do reading exercises, some words I struggle with, but I just go to try and pronounce them and then I'll keep repeating them until it makes sense. But when I'm teaching, you can see and you can hear the people breaking up the words into the different letters of how they're meant to pronounce, which is quite cool to know. What age did you start learning English?
I started studying English when I was 20 years old. I'm right now 23. So it's been 3 years on this journey of learning English. And
only 3 years?
Yeah, and in Spanish, I've been studying for only 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I love it. I love learning languages. I majored in engineering last year, electrical engineering. And English is so important in my field of working because there are so many manuals, machines in English. Everything is in English. So there's no everything is either from the United States or from China. So and the main language is English. So there's no way out. We have to learn it.
That's interesting to know. So how do you not learn English at school in Brazil then?
We do have English when we are at school, but it's not nearly as good as studying in a private English school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say that, for example, my teachers when I was in high school, they didn't seem to know how to speak English. They only knew how to give grammar lessons. They'll try to, for example, they used to give us texts and look look the words up in the dictionary and translate the text. So it was not effective.
Yeah, it sounds it. Your English is very good considering you've only been learning it for 3 years, and it's impressive that you know Portuguese, English, and Spanish. Spanish is definitely a language that I really want to learn, but I've just never got around to it.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And Spanish is actually the easiest language, I think, to learn because it's similar to Portuguese. But I'd like to work on my English more because I'd like my English to be almost as good as my Portuguese. But I'm out of time. Thanks so much for this incredible conversation.
It's all right. You're welcome. Have a lovely day.